As I said, my name is Henrik. I work as a project manager for the company Magenta. We are here to demonstrate the LibreOffice Online integration of Alfresco that we've been working on. And together with me, I have Lanre, who is a developer also at Magenta, and he's here to talk more about the technical details about it. As Axel said, we are working a lot with Alfresco in our company. We are only working on open source software, and we are also sponsoring Order of the Bee with the infrastructure services. Yeah, let's move on with the presentation itself. Okay, first of all, I will give a short introduction to the background around LibreOffice Online and the integration with Alfresco. Then Lanre will take over with the technical details, and after that we have a few demo scenarios for you, and then we will leave 4 or 5 minutes for questions. So, first, introduction, background. As the name suggests, LibreOffice Online is the online version of the well-known LibreOffice suite of applications. That is the Write application, the Calc application, and the Impress calculation. The online version of LibreOffice has been on its way for many years, and it was recently released in 2016. And there is a general wish, demand in the market for open source, device-independent, self-hosted, and collaborative online Office suite. So it is quite important that we get this to work together with, for example, Alfresco. We have been working on this integration for almost a year now. We are working on the integration together with one of our collaborators, which is a municipality in Denmark, Ballerup Kommune. Ballerup Kommune, they are very much into open source software. Actually, they want to introduce open source software wherever they can, and we have already installed Alfresco Community Edition at Ballerup Kommune, and we are now working on this online integration, this LibreOffice Online integration with Alfresco together with them. I'll talk a little bit to some of the advantages with LibreOffice Online. First of all, it is self-hosted, so it's a good alternative to Google Docs and Office 365. So you don't need to trust your data with a third-party software provider. And the user's workflow can be liberated from the desktop when you use LibreOffice Online. And it also offers collaborative live editing. We are going to demonstrate some of this in our demo scenarios later. A little bit about the LibreOffice Online application itself. Not that we have been working much on developing that. We are more working on the integration to Alfresco. But a lot of work is going on in sort of developing the LibreOffice Online applications. But at the moment, as you can see, the top one is the toolbar from LibreOffice Online, and the bottom one is the toolbar of the desktop version of LibreOffice. As you can see, LibreOffice Online now only gives you a subset of the functionality of the desktop version of LibreOffice. But it is improving all the time, and there's a lot going on, and we are subscribing to all these changes as we go along. But that was just to give you an impression of where things are with LibreOffice Online. Actually, I think I will now leave the word to Lanre and the Monsieur, and Lanre will now tell us something about the technical details.
Thank you, Henrik. Hi, my name is Lanre everyone. I'm a developer at Legenta, as Henrik and Axel have introduced me. And I'm a software developer, and I'm a member of the LLDB. What I'm about to give you is a brief description of the technical details surrounding the LibreOffice Online integration with Alfresco. And hopefully you will be able to come well from this presentation and hopefully use our integration or probably develop with one of your own. My presentation will be divided into 3 sections. An installation overview, which will give you an overview of the installation processes surrounding LibreOffice Online, and some installation gotchas, not necessarily bugs, but certain things you should be wary of when you are installing LibreOffice Online. Then next, I will talk about the point of integration with LibreOffice Online, not points, namely the WPI protocol, or WAPI for short. And then I'll give you a brief description of the implementation so that you can understand how it was done, and hopefully you should be able to go away and create your own implementation or take what we have done and take it forward. And then I'll talk a little bit about the LOOL architecture, or MOL for short, because it's just easier to say. LibreOffice Online, I like to think of it in the context of Alfresco as 3 components. The first component is this LibreOffice Online server. As you can see, I've made a bullet points on the 2 things to consider when installing LibreOffice Online server. It's a LibreOffice core, which you actually need. So what LibreOffice Online uses is it uses a core LibreOffice build, the actual LibreOffice itself, to serve the application. And then the actual LibreOffice Online project itself, which is split into 2, a web server and a leaflet, a client application that displays or renders a view of LibreOffice Online itself. When you install LibreOffice Online, this file there on the right side of that image, the lolwsd.xml, it contains some important configuration. In fact, it's the main configuration focus for configuring LibreOffice Online to work with your working host, which I'll describe later. But when you install LibreOffice Online, it's important. I did think, it would be cool to use a compiled LibreOffice binary, but they advise that you always build against the latest source, which takes a lot of time. And I took this excerpt from the actual README of the project itself. So follow that advice for now. Don't do anything else, otherwise you have headaches. Back to the XML configuration file. The main point of configuration, the main configuration section in the file here allows you to specify which of your WAPI hosts that you wish to this LibreOffice Online server to work with or serve. And I have, well, it's in the slide there. I hope you get the look of the slide, and well, it's pretty much understandable. Our second component, it goes without saying that you need an Alfresco server. You know, that would serve as your document host. And then you need the amps. We develop our own amps, which is freely available for you to clone and modify. And you need to, as part of the integration, you need to create or maybe copy and modify this file called discovery.xml, which is very important to the WAPI protocol, and I will be describing that shortly. And of course, you need to add 3 properties in your Alfresco-global properties, namely these. Of the 3, only one of them is not important. The other 2, I think, should make sense. One, to specify which LibreOffice Online server you wish this Alfresco to work with, and the other one where the amps can locate the discovery.xml file. And I'll explain that later. The third one, not so important, but for now, let's leave it there. So what do you need in terms of installation? Server requirements wise, the minimum doesn't really differ much from this section on the right side of the screen. I would recommend, if you want to use it in production, as our customer is doing and we are doing for our test servers, to have 8 gigs of RAM and a multi-core CPU, preferably minimum of 2 cores, simply because when you are compiling LibreOffice core itself, it takes a lot of time. I did have someone within the community who asked for help and really struggled with 4 gigs of RAM and a single core machine. So don't do it if you really want to save yourself a headache. Software-wise, you of course need LibreOffice core, and quick notes, use the official Poco library. You know what it is when you start playing around with this. And Node.js and NPM is really required for the leaflet client. So some installation gotchas. I'm sorry, I'm running quite late on time, so I will skip what the first one is about, and it's pretty much self-explanatory. Just wanted to say something about the last 2 bullet points. First is that you should really build LibreOffice Online with the user that you wish to run the processes, because it has this, as it says in the note, it needs to be able to change root into a jail root to run. And then the second thing is, whenever, right now, at this moment, because LibreOffice Online is an ongoing project, so it's still maturing, still developing, it does have instructions that you should just make check every time you pull the new or latest changes, but I find that there are so many problems, it's actually easier to recompile the core and LibreOffice Online every time there's a new one. So each time that happens, this configuration file, make sure you save it and then diff compare it to the newly generated one, because there are always changes going in there, and some of the changes that are added are understandable but are crucial to running LibreOffice Online. Now, for the main point of integration, the only point of integration, the web application open platform interface, or for short. I don't know if anybody, does anybody here know about WAPI? No? Okay. So Microsoft defines it as a protocol that identifies a set of operations that enables a client to access and change files stored by a server. And what it really is just like a callback interface over REST protocol. So you expose a few REST API calls over HTTP. Crucial to this is this discovery.xml file, which is where you actually expose the REST calls to your LOL application server. Does anyone mind if I just call it LOL? So it's much easier to solve. In this file, it boils down to these 3 sections. I'm sorry, I couldn't figure out how to. Sorry, I couldn't figure out how to highlight this in the presentation, although they are highlighted in notes. This section here is of most importance, and it really is the shortest excerpt of this file that that forms a complete discovery.xml. It essentially defines a MIME type that you wish to support, and the actions permissible on the MIME type. As you can see there, the action in edit in view. And you have the URL source for where the LOL client application is located. And I will explain why, how it works in a second in the context of Alfresco. This is essentially the general WAPI protocol, how it works. And you have 3 components in here. In the context of what we have done, Alfresco takes the role of the WAPI server, essentially where your documents are stored and located, and you have LibreOffice Online, which is the actual WAPI client itself. It has servers. So what happens is, from the browser, you request the protocol, you request a view of a file, and the WAPI server is supposed to return with a token, returns with a token and a URL of the client application that will serve this file, and then that is then sent to that response is then sent to LibreOffice Online, saying, okay, here's the ID for the file and a token and the URL source to the LibreOffice, to the WAPI client application. And then it uses that URL because in that URL, actually it's a list of URLs containing also Alfresco's URL. So it uses that, LibreOffice Online uses that to contact Alfresco, requesting information about the file. This is the first thing that must take place in the WAPI protocol. It needs to know the client application needs to actually get file information before it serves it. So they request information about the file to which you send, and then once it's looked at that information and sees from the discovery.xml that it can serve that file, then it retrieves the file, and then this last part here, the view of the file. The view of the file, that happens right now by sending a completely generated HTML page, rendered page with the file, which we then expose in an iframe in the browser, and hence you're able to modify, you're able to work with LibreOffice. So, I will now give you a brief description of the LibreOffice Online architecture. LibreOffice Online itself is composed of a WebSocket daemon or boot server, which should be run as a service should you install this. There is a LOL.service file within the folder that you can install, and essentially should enable it to start as a service. And each time there's a request, it spawns one of these called a forkit. It's essentially I don't know, I think it's a manager for the document broker, which is called a LOLkit. And what the LOLkit does is it does this job of hosting the document and rendering the view. So each time there's a request of forkit, lol forkit, it sounds better, determines whether or not there is a kit already spawned with a document, and will pass on the request to the kit, which will then serve a new view of the file, or it creates a new kit, or new log kit, and which will then serve the document. That concludes the technical description. I'm sorry it's short, but we do not have that much time. Here are some links for those of you who would like to actually get your hands dirty. I recommend reading. First, I recommend reading about the WAPI protocol, and this excellent article, it's old, but it really, really helps you to understand the WAPI protocol. And especially now that you've got an example implementation, it will be easy for you to follow. Generally, I would say for keeping up to date with any changes to the WAPI protocol, especially this check file info, which you will understand when you if you ever get around to working on our integration or your own. Very important, this last two. Very important, the last two, because it helps you keep track of the latest changes to the WAPI protocol and see what you should be returning as a response when you're responding to the REST API calls. The GitHub link is very important because it's how LibreOffice integrates, or implements WAPI protocol. They respond with the normal WAPI messages. In addition, they add some stuff that to their own response, which allows us to sort of configure and expose certain features, such as whether or not the document is allowed to be copied or printed. The top links are really instructions for installation, because LibreOffice is an ongoing and sort of volatile project in flux. Installation can change even from what I've just described to you right now, as brief as it is. And again, I recommend using the POCO project, which requires a MySQL server installation. Why? There are dependencies that the Poco project needs, which are in MySQL server packaging. And I think that's it for me, right? I think now we have a little demonstration for everyone. Yeah. Just before we do the demonstration, I have to mention that the internet is slow, so do forgive the...
Yes, it's always good with a disclaimer like this. We have prepared a few demo scenarios for you. First of all, it's important, I think, that you can get a feeling of how this actually looks when it is integrated with Alfresco. So we have a demo scenario where we have integrated LibreOffice Online with Alfresco Share. Then we have a product called OpenDesk, which is Alfresco with Angular UI on top. We have also integrated LibreOffice Online into this product. We'll also show that. We'll show a little bit of collaborative live editing and platform independency. And as Lanre said, we are a little bit dependent on the network here, but we hope that it will work out. I will seat myself here and do the demo together with Lanre. Thank you. Okay, what you see here is a standard standard Alfresco share, and I would like to demonstrate how we can use LibreOffice Online together with Alfresco share. I will just start by creating a document from template, and I will try and create an Excel spreadsheet. Yeah. And let's see, it's a very simple example, and the point is not to show some fancy functionality within the LibreOffice application. It's more demonstrating the basics of the integration. So what you see is a very simple document here, and we have implemented here editing in LibreOffice Online. This button. I click this. I now open LibreOffice Online from Alfresco, and I can try to do some very simple editing. Like this. And if I click this back to preview, I get back into Alfresco and it gets saved. Alfresco, as you can see here, now it is updated in Alfresco. That was a very simple example. I'll show you another one. I'll create a PowerPoint document. Right here. And again, I will do the editing in LibreOffice Online. Very simple document. Down here I can do duplicating slides. And It's a bit difficult because the screen is extended, so I can't see it on here, so I have to do like this all the time. Yeah, you can also do the presentation view from within LibreOffice Online, like that. Yeah, and then if we go back to the preview. Yeah, thanks, Lanre. That was very basic editing in Alfresco Share. 5 minutes left. Yes. Okay. We're also going to show you this other product called Open Desk. Looks like this. I'll just log in. As I said before, this is an Alfresco product with Angular UI on top, and I have sites in here, just as we know it from Alfresco Share. Yeah, and I have my documents in here, and then I can go and edit the document here, and then it opens LibreOffice Online within the Open Desk product. And then I can do my editing here, if I want to. And we want to demonstrate the collaborative live editing, and Lanre should be logged in now as well. Yeah, yeah. Actually, this is Lanre now doing the editing here on his Mac. So you can see he's doing editing here. And you can see the cursor here.
The network connection is so slow. I don't know whether you noticed, but you can see the cursor of the other people on the document that are collaborating.
And actually, this is not Lanre writing this. You are out of time now. Oh, that's Alexander. He's working from a tablet down there, also doing live editing here on the street. And he says we are out of time. We have a few minutes for questions.
Sorry about that.
So please go ahead.
Does anyone have any questions?
Yeah, what does it mean? Two of you are editing which one will save, or both of them?
Generally, whenever somebody exits a session, it automatically saves for that person.
And how about locking the document or versioning the document?
Versioning is handled in Alfresco. Remember, your document source is responsible for whatever logistical processes you have around the document. So your document host is responsible for that. But when you exit, the version is maintained by document and the document host. The candidate? For every edit, once you terminate the session, not when you type. You can actually also save within the session itself before you exit, and it will also save back to Alfresco, and the version will be reflected. But you can also track changes within LibreOffice, so you kind of have a double. Sorry.
In your demo, the documents that you saved clearly changed, but the version didn't change. How does that track the changes in LibreOffice? And the second question is, how does this appear in the log files? Does it appear as a opening document? Does it have any auditing?
With regards to versioning actually does change the version in Alfresco. Once it's saved, Alfresco processes take over and versions are reflected. it's there. We can show you anything you want. With regards to the audit, actually, I'll be honest, I haven't checked that because there hasn't been a need. Remember, we're developing this with a partner, and rather than speed ahead and make developments ourselves, we're assuming that our partner who wants to use it knows what the needs of the industry will be, and we wait for requests from them. I have had a request from a community member who is using it or who's testing it, and he's also asked for the possibility to be able to lock a document from being edited. But at the same time, remember, if you're within Alfresco, you can always download and edit the document within Alfresco, and the locking processes take place. But the need for this was to have collaborative editing on the same document. We might consider locking the document to get implementing that feature if we get enough requests to require, because then it means that there is a need to have that. But until then it makes no sense to invest in something that nobody will use. Any more questions?
So the LibreOffice server, does it need access to the document on disk, or does the document get sent to the LibreOffice server from Alfresco and then stored back? In other words, can we provide it as a service?
It is provided as a service. The document does get sent because that's part of the WAPI protocol. The WAPI dictates that you first get information on the document to make sure it exists. So once the document is copied to the LibreOffice server itself, it then goes through the process of creating a jailroot, creating a template, a system template from LibreOffice core, which is why you need LibreOffice core, and it hosts that document in that jailroot. So yeah, each time the document is copied, I think I remember looking at some changes a while back, because before it used to be that with every session terminated, the document is destroyed. But now it keeps it for a little bit, I think, before the document is destroyed. So, yeah. Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah, so thank you, Henrik. Thank you, Lanre. If there's any questions? Any questions that are not there? Your two are staying today, and I think until tomorrow as well. So keep asking them after the session. And next up is Gavin with this talk.
Ya tenía ahora por aquí también para... Porque me venía ahora por aquí por si acaso para evitar que... Mañana a ver cómo podemos hacer para separarnos si no...